Hey, what's up people? This is Jesse Mbogo and welcome to Against All Norms, where we talk about everything and anything else that concerns our lives. Remember guys, I usually start by saying this is a safe space where we are able just to talk about everything that concerns our life. And today we are talking about worship. Worship, kila time say ukisikia hii term inasemekana worship unafikirianga nini? Most of the time when people hear the term worship, they associate it with maybe the temple, maybe the place where they pray, maybe it's a mosque, maybe it's a church, maybe it's a temple, a specific place. Like people associate worship with that. But there is also another aspect of worship, which today we're also going to be looking at. Now, first of all, definitely before I talk about worship, I would really want to hear what the word had to say. And this is a verse that I feel that I mentioned it in some videos, some back I think I was talking about Jesus and the Samaritan. This was a Jesus breaking the barrier of religion or culture. I used this specific verse because this is something that Jesus was telling this lady. And if you haven't watched that video, please finya hiyo pop-up yenye kwa hapo hiyo link, and it will take you straight to that video where you'll be able to hear what I was talking about. Now today I'm talking about worship. Nataka tuende kwa hii verse, John chapter 4 verse 23 to 24. What does the Bible say? Let us hear what the Bible says. But the hour is coming, and now is, guys, and now is, when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and truth. For such the Father seeks to worship him. So that is the verse that we'll be using as our foundation to discuss about worship. Now, in a layman's language, when you hear the term worship, what does worship mean? And this is the definition from the dictionary. It says to honor or show reverence for as a divine being or a supernatural power. Now, this is how the Bible defines worship. Worship is the giving of our entire self. So this is not about just raising hands, singing that slow song, ile song yenye unasikia inakupeleka karibu na Bwana. It's not just about that. It's more of giving your entire self, our thoughts and our emotions to God's use. So tena get another part of worship. Now, let us go back again to what people see as worship. Anytime when kuna that slow song, when people are singing that worship song, most of the time wanajuanga now it is time for worship. Ikiwa ni fast, uko tu hapo una dance, inakuwa ni praise. Then ikifika worship unaona gadi watu wana change face. Unaweka that ka face ya, that ka face that usually automatically comes. Unakunja tu sura. By this sijaielewa why people do that. I think it is a way of showing how serious you are in that. But I do believe also you can worship by just smiling, just thinking of the goodness of the Lord, But when people think of worship, wanafikirianga that specific time at church, yenye wanaimba a specific song that is slow, that is evoking emotions in a certain way. They think that as worship, which is also part of it. Remember, worship is a whole, it encompasses a lot of stuff. But that is just a specific thing. When people are singing a song just in reverence, just revering God and telling God that you're great and you're awesome and you're amazing, that is part of worship, because you are bringing out your heart, what your heart thinks about God, and speaking it out and then telling God that is all worship. But also, there is the aspect of giving your entire self. So this means that also worship happens after Sunday. Worship haikuangi tu peke yake on Sunday peke yake. Ama that ka specific time yenye mnakuwa na praise and worship. In exiting pia after Sunday. That means your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you should be worshiping God. Now you're asking me, do you mean that Jesse should be always be putting my hand like this and telling God something? By the way, mbona tunasemanga tell God something? Mbona God ana kitu anyway. People usually use that term, tell God something, but I do believe worship is a lifestyle, how you live your life. Because I do believe if you have a relationship with God, then He affects how you live your life. That is worship. In fact, let me say this, there is no human being who can live without worship. There are those people who have been known to worship their spouses. How do they do that? It is the time and the emotions that you give to that and all that thing, acknowledging whatever they say as the final thing, not acknowledging God. That now puts God away from that position of adoring Him and worshiping Him, and only seeing this thing as the main major thing in your life. So that introduces worship. So no man can live without worship. Even those who say they do not have anything to worship, they do have something they worship. So worship is something that God created in us, that we always desire to worship God. So for those who worship God, and this is very interesting in John 4:23, this is not about man giving ideas on how they should worship God. This is actually God saying that this is the kind of worship that I desire. He says that He desires us to worship Him in truth and in spirit. So the aspect of truth has to be there. The aspect of the spirit has to be there. So at the end of the day, as you have noticed, there is the aspect of where we worship God in terms of that specific time when we are singing a song, when we are praying, when we are doing something together to bring ourselves closer to God, trying to bring our hearts closer to God. That is something that we usually do in every, on Sundays tunafanyanga hivyo. But God require that we should now translate to the way we live our life. Hence, that's why He says that we should worship Him in truth and in spirit. So today I just want to challenge us. Usione worship just as a time as you raise your hands, as a time that you're saying a prayer to God. It's a lifestyle. Has God influenced your lifestyle? Has He changed you? Has He transformed you? Has He renewed your mind, as Romans 12:2 speaks of? Has He transformed your mind? Has He made you change the way you think about Him? Has He impacted your life that you desire to live according to the way you would want Him to live, the way He would want you to live? That will help you to walk in the way that God desires Him to be worshipped. So remember that at the end of the day, worship is a lifestyle. And I will repeat it again on this video again, that all these things stems out from the relationship that you have with God. So without God, all we are doing is rituals. We need to be at a place where we worship Him in truth and in spirit. And all this, the Holy Spirit will be able to teach us. So thank you so much for watching this video, manze. If this is your first time, I want to take this opportunity to welcome you and also tell you to finya your subscription button pale, finya your like button, and please share this video. Watch it to increase, and we are going to be doing this together. Remember, this is a safe space. We'll be able to tackle any kind of topic. And if you have a topic that you would want, maybe ujaisikia your address, please feel free to comment hapa chini, and we'll be able to actually discuss that topic at this place. Remember, this is a safe space. Thank you so much for watching. This is Jesse Mbongo. I hope to see you on the next one. Peace out.